generations, this peaceful island has been home to our family. But beyond our reef, a great danger is coming. Legend tells of a hero who will journey to find the demigod Maui. And together, they will save us all.
What? Maui!
A boat! A boat!
Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea. I am
Hero of men.
What?
It's actually Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea, hero of men. I interrupted from the top. Hero of men. Go. I'm not going on a mission with some little girl.
This is my canoe, and you will journey to different.
Did not see that coming.
The ocean is a friend of mine.
First, we've got to go through a whole ocean of bad. Kakamora.
Kako, what? They're kind of cute.
Moana! Hey, got your back. It's Maui time! Really? Blow dart in my butt cheek.
We're going to the realm of monsters.
Don't worry, it's a lot farther down than it looks.
Enjoy it now, because you best believe we're going to destroy this franchise within the span of 8 years. Moana 2, of course, and then we're going to destroy it even more with a live-action Moana coming your way this summer from Disney. Da-da-da-da-da. Welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. Today we are taking a look at the 6 movies for Thanksgiving weekend 2016. And no movie is bigger this weekend than Disney's latest animated feature, which is Moana. Title character, of course, is a sea voyaging enthusiast and the only daughter of a chief in a long line of navigators. When her family needs her help, she sets off on an epic journey. The film will also include demigods and spirits taken from real mythology. You can tell the synopsis was written way before the movie came out by Disney, but at this point, in time, if you weren't into everything that Disney had done up to that point, there was seriously something wrong with you. Nowadays, yeah, it's probably okay to say that the Mouse House is a heavily flawed company, but back then they were on a roll. They had been on a roll for a long time in the 2010s, not just with the animated films, the live-action films. Yeah, there were a couple misfires here and there, but in the decade of the 2010s up to 2016, almost 90% of Disney's releases they put out either range from good to excellent. What if you don't like it? That's what good's for. And at that point in time, you really shouldn't be questioning what Disney was doing up to that point, which brings us to this movie, which is not only another masterpiece by Disney, but it's part of a strong year for animated movies, man. 2016 may be the overall best year for animated movies. There were a couple misfires here and there, but most of the movies that came out were winners. Kubo and the Two Strings was my favorite movie of 2016. Zootopia was number 2, and I'm pretty sure that Moana was number 3. I'd have to look at my list again, but this was another Disney classic in the making, and there's so much to admire about this movie. First off, the gorgeous animation. Not only do you have the excellent CG animation that Disney has perfected very well over the last decade, but you get to see people who are mostly known for their 2D animation. Ron Clements and John Musker, who did The Great Mouse Detective, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, The Princess and the Frog. They bring that 2D animation style to CG, and it works very well. It does a fantastic job blending the CG animation with bits of 2D animation flawlessly. Not just even with the tattoos on Maui, they actually can move on their own. That's pretty cool. But even in some of the musical numbers, you can tell the animators tested the limits of how to blend 2D and 3D together, and it works here really well. You got the great music by Lin. I get my names confused here. Sorry. You get the excellent music by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who really you can't go wrong with that. With him, Mark Mancina, Opitalia Foya. Probably I butchered that name, but you can look it up to see if I did. But they've created a roster of memorable new songs that don't. I mean, I thought back then they didn't really quite reach the levels of Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, or Frozen in terms of classic Disney songs, but yeah, they have definitely. They're definitely in that same category, and especially after Moana 2, where the songwriters of that movie, not Lin-Manuel Miranda, basically came out and said after that movie came out, like, oh, you're going to remember these songs just like you did the first Moana movie. I dare anybody to tell me out there to name one song from Moana 2 that was memorable. Short answer is you can't, so yeah, take that. But, yeah, I hate Moana 2. I think I pretty much have summed up why I hate Moana 2, but you know, I talked about in the past, the late Howard Ashman, that's why I probably got the name confused early on in what I was talking about here, who wrote songs to The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. He always used to say that in almost every musical, there comes a place in the second, third, or fourth song where the leading lady usually sits on something or sings about what she wants in life, and the audience just falls in love with her and roots for her to get it for the rest of the night. In this movie, it's How Far I Go. Not only is it sung nicely by the star of the movie, Alia Carvalho, but it's just a great song that allows us, the listener, to understand the character's motivation and situation in the movie, trying to find her place in the world, what she wants in life, and you get why we buy into our heroine's accomplishments and what she wants to do with them and what she needs to do to make that happen. There's even a good version by Alicia Cara at the end of the movie that's very good, too. It's just a testament to how strong the songs are in this movie when you add Lin-Manuel Miranda's talents, good lord, what's wrong with me, to the list. He has the potential to become one of Disney's definitive songwriters on the levels of Ashman and Alan Menken and Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez. If he does more Disney with the future, I think he really could have been up there with some of the great songwriters that Disney has ever had. And he's written some songs for Disney. Some have been good, others not so much. I mean, the songs from Encanto are amazing, but Little Mermaid, mixed bag overall. The live-action Little Mermaid, I mean, but like in most Disney classics, there are a lot of great characters. Moana is a great, well-written, well-performed character. I think Alia Carvalho does a very good job in her feature debut. She's just such a likable character. She's got those adventurous characteristics that Ariel and Belle have with the flair of Rapunzel, Anna, and Elsa, and those characteristics blend together very well to create a memorable character. And I mean, Dwayne Johnson as Maui was pitch-perfect casting. He's to this movie what Robin Williams was to the Genie in Aladdin. He's excellent in this, and the fact that 95% of the movie is him sharing the screen with Carvalho, their chemistry together just works so well. The rest of the cast is great, too. Tamara Morrison, Nicole Scherzinger playing her parents, Rachel House as Moana's grandmother, Jermaine Clement playing the crab in this. I mean, Jermaine Clement in this movie is hilarious. That song is great. Shiny! Like, that's a great song. They even got Troy Polamalu from the Steelers in here. So, yeah, I mean, it's a win-win in my book. But if there is a downside to the casting in this, Alan Tudyk's role in this is kind of pointless. I know that Tudyk had been Disney. He essentially was Disney's Animation Studios' John Ratzenberger for the longest time, which they'll always find a role for him, like with Ratzenberger in every Pixar movie. But it really felt like Tudyk was put in here because they just needed to throw him in there. He plays Hey Hey in the movie. And really, the chicken doesn't do much in this movie, and he's become the more memorable character than the pig Pua, which I really do feel like they were trying to make as the comic relief in this. I mean, the chicken's pointless in this movie. Even the director admitted this, saying that he's the dumbest character in the history of Disney animation, which I disagree. I think there's several other movies where you have dumb characters. Black Cauldron, everybody, but a couple characters in there are pretty stupid. Chicken Little, but it just seems like the character wasn't fully realized. The chicken doesn't really do much except to just have the comic relief from Moana's adventure, just scream the generic chicken scream, like you've heard the scream before in many other animated things. Like I said, the pig doesn't even do anything. He shows up for a bit in the opening and then the end, but then he's not in the movie at all. I mean, I'll give the sequel this. They at least give the pig more to do in that movie than they do in this, but to be fair, he does have another role as the villager in here, so he's not a complete waste in here. But overall, yeah, this is a great movie. This is a terrific film from a strong era of Disney animation. It just works, from the beautiful animation, the great voice casting, the great characters, the great story, a great message about finding your true calling within yourself, great music. It's a great movie, man. A strong year for Disney. strong year for animation continues with this film. It's just, what more can you say? Moana is amazing. And, yeah, enjoy it while you can, because Disney will destroy it within a span of 8 to 10 years, because that's exactly what they did with Moana 2, and what they're surely going to do with the live-action remake coming out on July 10th. I will not be shocked at all if that film gets a lot of bad reviews, and yet somehow finds a way to make money at the box office, because, hey, the character Moana is very popular on Disney+, which, okay, put it on Disney+. Like, I was just talking about The Mandalorian and Grogu, like, if The Mandalorian and Grogu is enough to be on the big screen, then why is Moana the thing that's more popular on Disney Plus going to theaters? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Nobody's looking forward to this movie, and yet, I don't know. That's a whole other thing altogether. I want to end this on a positive note, because the original Moana is still a great movie. I still enjoy it. Can't recommend it enough. So, now let's go ahead and get to what you might consider to be some of the rejects of the weekend, because there was a lot of bad films that came out on this weekend. Starting off with our first movie, and that is Robert Zemeckis' latest film, Allied.
Commander, we suspect your wife is a double agent.
Experienced for years. Most intense thriller. Is this her? They didn't tell you.
I told you they'd come for you eventually.
This a game. A game?
I'm testing it the way you tested me.
You know what you have to do.
Russ Watson's Allied. Rated R.
Or as most people probably remember this, the movie where everyone thought that Brad Pitt's going to cheat on his wife, just like he did with Angelina Jolie when he was with Jennifer Aniston with this film, but then it turned out to not be true. Yeah, I said yesterday that this was one of those movies where Brad Pitt had been working with Marion Cotillard, and there was those rumors that he was that was part of the reason why him and Jolie got divorced, but evidently that wasn't the case. So what does the movie end up becoming most known for? Nothing, except the fact that it probably makes Shining Through, that terrible Michael Douglas Melanie Griffith movie, look better by comparison, because yeah, this movie's pretty lame. It stars Brad Pitt as a Canadian intelligence officer and Marion Cotillard as a French resistance fighter who fall in love while posing as a married couple during a mission in Casablanca in 1942. So technically, this is the Casablanca remake that nobody was asking for, except instead of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, it's Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard. Not really, but it's almost like that. I mean, the movie itself is just kind of boring, and that's really the biggest problem with it. It's a lame movie. The chemistry between the two leads is not there whatsoever. These are two really good actors, but it is not showing up in this movie, man. You did not buy these two as a couple at all. You don't buy them as a fake couple. You don't buy them really as capable people in their situations here. These are two very good actors who deserve much better than this. But then again, when you have a script written by Stephen Knight, that's probably part of the reason why the film is terrible, because yeah, the script for this is not that great. I mean, this guy has written some good stuff in the past, mostly Eastern Promises and The 100-Foot Journey, but then he also wrote stuff like Seventh Son and also Burnt, and also he also did the Christmas Carol movie, the FX's A Christmas Carol with Guy Pearce in it, which you think wouldn't be terrible, but it surprisingly is even worse than you would imagine. And this is coming from somebody who is a Christmas Carol purist, and I would tell you that, yeah, Christmas Carol, the FX one, is really terrible. This is just really a boring film. There's just nothing about it that's intriguing whatsoever. On a visual level, it's not even that great. The casting is wasted here. The score by Alan Silvestri, I'll give it credit. It's the best thing about the movie. But then again, it's Alan Silvestri. The guy can do no wrong. He's a terrific composer, and it shows why in this movie. But this film, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's a really disappointing film with a lot of good talent involved, and just another blemish for Robert Zemeckis, who, yeah, this was the beginning of his inevitable downfall, unfortunately. So there you go. That's all I gotta say about Allied. So let the bullshit continue with hey folks, it's time for another comedy sequel you weren't asking for, way past the point of the original film. Bad Santa 2, come on down.
I'm in. You don't tell me I have to do the suit again.
Oh, Mom. You still hit like your father. What the? You racist moron. This ain't fetal alcohol, Senator. What is it?
No one is getting in the way of me spreading my joy! Bad Santa 2. Wake up.
Just why? 13 years after the original Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton's career was not that dead in the dumps here, people. Kathy Bates is an Academy Award-winning actress. I'm pretty sure there is no need to do this movie again, but evidently, hey, Broad Green Pictures needed to get some franchises in its roster, so, hey, when someone said, hey, Bad Santa 2 is available, give it to us! We don't have a script, but fuck it, we'll make it up overall. We'll get the chick who wrote Whip It. Yeah, Shauna Cross wrote this. Wrote a really good script in Whip It, but then she did this movie, and but then again, she also did If I Stay, which was also not that good, and then What to Expect When You're Expecting, and, you know, maybe Whip It was probably her magnum opus overall, but, Billy Bob Thornton is back as Willie, and also Marcus, Willie being played by Tony Cox in here again team up to work as Santa and Elf respectively, this time to rob a Chicago charity on Christmas Eve. And, of course, you bring in Kathy Bates as his mother, and also the kid from the first movie is back. Now he's all grown up, even though he literally looks like he hasn't really changed much overall. Kind of like me when I was in high school. But Christina Hendricks is also in here as well. Ryan Hansen, Mike Starr. I mean, who gives a crap, man? I mean, yeah, it's been 13 years since Bad Santa. The original Bad Santa worked because not only was it a movie that was raunchy, but it did have a heart to it. It was a dark comedy with a heart to it. It was very good. It was very funny. It worked because Billy Bob Thornton was given a lot of funny stuff to do. It was a movie that you still watch to this very day. This is a movie that's literally the equivalent of A Christmas Story 2, a sequel that nobody was asking for, but they feel like they have to do it because Bad Santa is a name that brings in money, baby. All $9 million over its 5 days and only bringing in $23 million on a budget of $26 million. This thing flopped badly, man. I mean, truth be told, I think this is the thing that killed Broad Green Pictures before it even had a chance to get going, man, because, yeah, this was pretty bad overall. This was a really, really bad film. A really pointless sequel. Nobody was asking for this, even with the people involved in it. It was just why? Why do this? Like, who was asking for this? Really? Who was really asking for Bad Santa 2? Nobody. Nobody at all. I think I made my point here. So, let's keep the bullshit train coming because Warren Beatty is back. You know, 15 years ago, he directed Town and Country. It was a movie that kind of killed his directing career because it was a huge flop. So, I mean, he gets another chance to show everybody that he's still got what it takes. Let's see what he can do with Rules Don't Apply.
Tell us a little about yourself.
I decided when I won a talent contest that maybe I'd give it a go in Hollywood.
The Virgin Marla has emerged.
Some guys never stop looking to hide the salami.
What?
Do the deed, dip the wick.
Butter the muffin?
I get it.
Hi, I'm Frank.
Hi.
2 weeks in Los Angeles. You're working for Howard Hughes.
No harm having high hopes, ma'am.
$400 a week on top of this.
From all I've read about Howard Hughes, I hope he doesn't expect to meet you in some hotel room.
Mr. Hughes, I'd like to thank you for my acting classes, thank you for my ballet classes, and thank you for the chance to become a star.
What the hell is she doing here?
You said you wanted the girl with the two ends.
Yes, Marilyn Monroe. That's Marlon Mabry. She's a Baptist nun.
You do know why Baptists think sex is bad, don't you? Because it might lead to dancing.
Maybe I'm not the right girl for this. I'm a square. A movie actress should have big bosoms and be sexy. I mean, in this town, aren't those the rules?
You're an exception. The rules don't apply to you.
Yeah, sadly, Rules Don't Apply was also Warren Beatty's thinking of returning to Hollywood after 15 years because, holy mother of God, this is bad. I mean, you thought him screwing up the Best Picture winner at the Oscars a couple months later was bad. This is even worse. Yeah, it's that bad, people. An aspiring young actress played by Lily Collins and an ambitious young driver played by Alden Ehrenreich from Hail Caesar struggle hopefully with the absurd eccentricities, eccentricities of the wildly unpredictable billionaire Howard Hughes played by Warren Beatty, for whom they work. It's Hollywood 1958. Small-town beauty queen, songwriter, and devout Baptist virgin Mary Marla Mabry, under contract by the infamous Hughes, arrives in Los Angeles. At the airport, she meets her driver, Frank, who is engaged to be married to a 7th-grade sweetheart and is a deeply religious Methodist. Their insurrection not only pulls their religious convictions to the test, but also defies Hughes' #1 rule. No employee is allowed to have any relationship whatsoever with a contract actress. Hughes' behavior intersects with Marla and Frank in very separate and unexpected ways, and as they are drawn deeper into his bizarre world, the values are challenged and their lives are challenged as well. And apparently the script is challenged too, because yeah, like I said, this movie was one of the most disjointed pieces of garbage I have ever seen in my life. And you could tell it was trying its hardest to make something work out of it, and it just can't do it. You have a cast that includes the aforementioned Lily Collins, Alden Ehrenreich, Warren Beatty as Howard Hughes, which I think that was their first mistake right there, casting Howard Hughes to be played by Warren Beatty. I mean, Warren Beatty does not look like Howard Hughes. Sorry, I don't care if you think it doesn't matter. It matters in this time around. Annette Bening's in here. Matthew Broderick's in here. Alec Baldwin's in here. Haley Bennett, Candice Bergman, Dabney Coleman, Steve Coogan, Ed Harris, Amy Madigan, Megan Hilty, Oliver Platt, Martin Sheen, Paul Sorvino, Paul Schneider, Chase Crawford. I mean, they stacked the cast in this movie, and this was the end result of that. It's amazing how a movie like Town and Country is so terrible with its big budget of $90 million and the fact that it was filmed over the course of 3 years because they had to delay the filming by over a year because of script problems. And yet this movie has a much smaller budget, and yet it still is a film that ends up being one of the biggest piles of garbage you'll ever see. Like it just proves that sadly Warren Beatty's time is up as a director, man. I mean, this guy did direct a lot of good stuff back in the day. Heaven Can Wait, Reds, Dick Tracy, Bulworth. This is his first movie he made in 18 years, which, wait a minute. That's right, he didn't direct Town and Country. That was Peter Kelsom, but his name was attached to that movie. I do remember that. Sorry about that, folks. I got it confused there, but come to think of it, Warren Beatty's been involved in a lot of big bombs when you really think about it. I mean, Town and Country was the last thing he did before this movie. Ishtar. I mean, yeah, Love Affair was not a big hit either, but at the same time, I mean, at least with Ishtar, you got a sense of what they were trying to do with that. Love Affair, you got a sense of what they were trying to do with that. Town and Country, I'd be willing to buy into what they were trying to do if the budget wasn't so overbloated and they at least had a good script to work with. But this film here just felt like a jumbled mess overall. You really had no idea what they were trying to do with it. And yeah, it just didn't work. It's a film where it just proves that, sadly, Warren Beatty's time is up, and maybe it's good that he doesn't direct as many movies anymore. I mean, we'll always remember the good stuff from him, but this really sadly felt like a guy who was trying to get back in the spotlight one more time, and he did later in the next couple of months, but more than likely not in the way he was hoping for. So yeah, a hard skip, sadly, on Rules Don't Apply. So let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, Dev Patel, starring in Lion.
A secret you never shared.
From the moment you came into our lives, you were all we could have hoped for.
I lost. I had another life. A family he never forgot.
Oh, sure.
Beautiful. A journey you'll always remember. I have to find her. Critics are calling Lion one of the best pictures of the year. Every day my mother screams my name. Please wait for me.
I'll be here.
Lion.
Based off of a book called A Long Way Home, this movie tells the story of how Breely, played by Dev Patel, 25 years after being separated from his family in India, sets out to find them. And it was a joint production between Australia and the United Kingdom, hence why you have people like David Wenham and Nicole Kidman involved in here, along with Rudy Mara. This is directed by Garth Davis in his feature debut. Garth Davis would later go on to direct stuff like Mary Magdalene, and also Foe was his more recent film. I have not seen either one of those movies, nor have I really seen this one, but it definitely feels like a movie that's begging for some Oscars. I'll give it that. It's trying to be the life of Pi for the Oscar season of 2016. But it's got a lot of good reviews. It's been well praised. It got 6 nominations at the Oscars, so maybe it actually is pretty good, and I'm not seeing it, but I like Dev Patel. I think he's a very solid filmmaker. He's made a lot of good stuff. I liked his last movie he directed, Monkey Man, so I'd be willing to believe that this movie probably is really good, but I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't really say if it's any good or not. But it looks like it's much better. It's good. I cannot talk right now. It looks like it's much better than I'm giving it credit for. It might actually be pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out at some point down the road. So speaking of Oscar bait movies, let's talk about our last movie that we have here. Another movie that's begging Jessica Chastain to win an Oscar already, Miss Sloane.
foresight about anticipating your opponent's moves and devising countermeasures.
How does she manage that?
Our system is rotten, and I will fight to change it.
You can't possibly win this.
Sergeant in position.
I use whatever resource I have.
You crossed the line.
You know the word annihilate? It means reduced to nothing.
It's about making sure you surprise them, and they don't surprise you.
Miss Sloane, rated R.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much for this one. Even the plot really isn't much for a movie. Jessica Chastain stars as Elizabeth Sloane, a fierce lobbyist who fights in an attempt to pass gun control legislation. That's it. That's the whole movie, people. And, yeah, not great. Not a great movie overall. It's another one of these movies where a lot of good talent involved in it. Jessica Chastain, Mark Strong, Guba Mbatha-Raw, Michael Stuhlbarg, Alison Pill, Jake Lacey, John Lithgow, Sam Waterston. Directed by John Madden, the guy who directed Shakespeare in Love. And yet, it really does feel lifeless overall. There's really nothing about the film that really makes it anything that engaging overall or makes it worth to see in a theater. But I'm starting to see why it failed because, ladies and gentlemen, we have yet another misfire from Europa Corp. Luc Besson's company, once again. I don't know why Luc Besson decided to go into distributing films on his own, but yeah, he's 0 for 3 so far in 2016. And this one, I'll give it this. It's not quite as bad as something like 9 Lives and what was the other one? Shut In. A couple of other ones too, but yeah, this one's nowhere near as bad as those, but it's not great either. So, very quick on that one. Just, I mean, there might have been something interesting here, but unfortunately, it's a boring movie, man. There's nothing about it that makes it worth it in the end. And yeah, with the way the politics were changing around that time, there was no reason to really get invested by this because we all know that whoever was about to take over, who was about to take over, which is the person that's in charge right now, essentially would have easily killed this bill before it even got a chance to get going. So she did all this for nothing, more than likely. So what do you want, man? I got nothing else to tell you. This is a boring movie. Not a very good weekend after starting off so strong with Moana, but yeah, Miss Sloane, not so much. Not a good film. And so, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies, and we'll jump into December with, guess what, kiddies? Another back-to-back weekends worth of movies. We'll take a look at Incarnate, which comes out on December the 2nd, and we'll also take a look at Natalie Portman, hoping to get some more Oscar love for her role as Jackie Kennedy in Jackie. And then we'll jump into the second weekend of December with Office Christmas Party, the raunchy comedy featuring a star-studded cast that includes Jennifer Aniston, Jason Bateman, Olivia Munn, Kate McKinnon, T.J. Miller. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the film that was the Best Picture winner for about 5 minutes, La La Land. We finally will talk about that movie, and we'll also take a look at... Is there anything else? I guess that's it. So, yeah, only 4 movies to take a look at. So, yeah, I'm going to combine December 2nd and December 9th into one show. So, be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming up tomorrow here, so... With all that said, though, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, that notification button. Check out our playlist. Check out the previous episode we did, etc., etc. Yeah, you know the gist by now. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching. And, hey, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.